Imagine gazing into the eyes of your spouse or parent, only to feel an inexplicable, bone-chilling unease. They may speak and look like your beloved, yet a whispering doubt insists that something is horribly amiss. The comforting embrace of familiarity is replaced by suspicion, fear, and a profound sense of disconnection. Capgras syndrome, also known as Capgras delusion, is a rare and complex psychiatric disorder characterized by a belief that someone you know well has been substituted by an imposter. Dr. Jean-Marie Joseph Capgras, a French psychiatrist, and his intern Jean Reboulechaud first described what is known as Capgras syndrome in a paper published in 1923. Their paper, The Illusion of Doubles in a Systematic Chronic Delusion, provided one of the earliest documented accounts of this phenomenon. In their paper, Dr. Capgras and Reboulechaud detailed the case of a female patient whom they referred to as Madame M. The patient transformed everyone in her entourage, even those closest to her, such as her husband and daughter, into various and numerous doubles. She was able to recognize the physical resemblance of these individuals but believed they were not her genuine family members. Capgras and Reboulechaud proposed some initial theories about the underlying psychological mechanisms of Capgras syndrome. They suggested that the delusion might be related to disturbances in the emotional and affective aspects of Madame M's consciousness. In other words, they speculated that her emotional responses to her family members might be disconnected from her cognitive recognition of their physical appearance. At the time of the paper's publication, the medical understanding of psychiatric disorders was still quite limited compared to today. Joseph Capgras' observations and theories laid the groundwork for subsequent research and clinical exploration of this condition. The work was so significant that the illness was named after him in recognition of his pioneering work. Individuals experiencing Capgras delusion are often described as having a fixed, unshakable belief in the imposter phenomenon. Attempts by others, including mental health professionals, to challenge or refute the delusion are frequently met with resistance and denial. Patients with Capgras delusion tend to reject rational explanations and evidence that contradicts their false belief. They may perceive these efforts as further confirmation of the conspiracy they believe is at play. Coexisting conditions, also known as comorbidities, are frequently observed alongside Capgras syndrome. One common comorbidity is schizophrenia, a complex mental disorder characterized by hallucinations and delusions. In some cases, Capgras delusion is only considered a symptom within the spectrum of schizophrenia. Bipolar disorder, a mood disorder with manic and depressive episodes, can also coexist with Capgras delusion, often appearing during manic or mixed states. Neurological conditions like Alzheimer's disease or frontotemporal dementia may lead to Capgras-like delusions due to brain dysfunction, emphasizing the need to distinguish between psychiatric and neurological causes. Treatment for Capgras syndrome primarily focuses on managing the underlying psychiatric or neurological condition that gives rise to the delusion. Given the rarity and complexity of Capgras syndrome, there is no specific medication or therapy designed exclusively for its treatment. Instead, interventions are tailored to address the individual's unique needs. Cognitive behavioral therapy can be beneficial in helping individuals recognize and challenge their delusional beliefs. Medications like antipsychotics or mood stabilizers may also be prescribed. Moreover, family support and psychoeducation play a crucial role in helping individuals and their loved ones cope with challenges posed by Capgras syndrome. While treatment outcomes can vary widely, the goal is to improve the individual's overall well-being, reduce distress, and enhance their ability to function in daily life. Mary was referred for psychiatric evaluation due to claims that her daughter had been replaced by an imposter by Child Protective Services. Mary would claim that she had given birth to twins despite the hospital recording the birth of only a single daughter. She would also recount a story that while she ran errands, a vehicle containing her daughter and an unknown driver drove by and sped away once noticed. Despite psychiatric care and medication, Mary would not believe that her child was hers. An unnamed male patient with prior psychiatric conditions voluntarily presented himself to the hospital due to suicidal thoughts. He would go on to say that his mother, who he lived with, was replaced by government employees in an attempt to coerce confessions relating to his time in the military. He would go on to describe guilt from violent scenarios that, when followed up by police, were determined to have never taken place. After medication and an extended hospital stay, the patient showed improvement and was sent back to the care of his family. Following symptoms of upper limb rest tremor and uncoordinated movement, an unnamed male patient is given a diagnosis of Parkinson's disease. His mental state would gradually decline and he would develop a tendency to isolation, apathy, and later hallucinations. These hallucinations included the belief that his wife and daughter had been replaced by other people. Through a combination of medications, the Parkinson's symptoms had stabilized and the patient no longer displayed symptoms of delusion and psychosis. Imposters and the theme of deception have long captured the imagination of storytellers and creators in popular culture. In various forms of literature, film, and television, characters who assume false identities or impersonate others often serve as captivating subjects of intrigue and suspense. The concept of imposters in popular culture offer an intriguing look at the intricate workings of the human mind and emotions, mirroring the complexities observed in real-life psychological phenomena such as Capgras syndrome. Tom Ripley, created by author Patricia Highsmith, is one of the most iconic and complex imposters in the world of fictional literature. He serves as the central character in a series of novels, starting with The Talented Mr. Ripley. Ripley's talent lies in his ability to adapt to various roles and personas. He is a master mimic, seamlessly transitioning between identities and convincingly impersonating others. This chameleon-like quality allows him to infiltrate the lives of various characters and manipulate them. The fictional British secret agent James Bond, created by Ian Fleming, is a spy who frequently goes undercover to infiltrate criminal organizations, disrupt plots, and gather intelligence. To accomplish his missions, he adopts a variety of false identities, covers, and personas, making him appear as someone he is not. The Bond character often operates in morally ambiguous situations where he must deceive and manipulate to achieve his mission objectives. Frank Abagnale Jr. is one of the most famous imposters in history, and his life story has been immortalized in the book Catch Me If You Can by Abagnale himself, as well as in the 2002 film adaptation directed by Steven Spielberg and starring Leonardo DiCaprio. Abagnale successfully posed as a Pan Am pilot, a doctor, and even a lawyer while forging millions of dollars in checks before being apprehended by authorities. Following his prison sentence, Abagnale turned his life around, becoming a legitimate security consultant and working to prevent fraud and identity theft. While exceedingly rare, there have also been stories of individuals managing to infiltrate people's families. One such case is a man named Frederick Bourdin. He gained international notoriety for his audacious and elaborate impersonations, earning him the nickname the Chameleon. The most high-profile of Bourdin's deceptions took place in 1997. He posed as Nicholas Barclay, a missing Texan boy who had disappeared 3 years earlier. Despite significant physical differences, Bourdin managed to convince US authorities and even Nicholas's family that he was the missing child. Bourdain's impersonation eventually unraveled when a private investigator became suspicious, and DNA testing revealed his true identity. He was arrested in 1998, leading to his exposure as an imposter. Impersonation, whether in the realm of real-life con artists or fictional spies, requires a profound ability to maintain a facade and navigate intricate social situations with unwavering confidence. While such actions are typically driven by personal gain or a desire for emotional connection, they inevitably erode trust and can lead to profound emotional and psychological harm when the deception is eventually uncovered. When individuals masquerade as someone they are not, the ripple effects can be far-reaching. Those who fall victim to these imposters often find themselves grappling with a deep sense of betrayal and disillusionment. The bonds of trust, once forged in sincerity, become fragile and tattered. The emotional toll on victims can be substantial, leading to feelings of vulnerability, anxiety, and even trauma. The psychological impact may extend beyond the immediate revelation of deception, causing individuals to question their judgment and ability to discern truth from falsehood. In the context of Capgras syndrome, the intricate dynamics of deception take on a unique and poignant dimension. Much like the victims of real-life imposters, sufferers grapple with the same sense of deceit and despondency, as the relationships that they once cherished are shaken to their core. However, the strength of these delusional beliefs makes it exceedingly difficult for clinicians and loved ones to persuade the affected individual that their perceptions are incorrect. When confronted with the overwhelming reality that their loved ones remain the same people they've always known, individuals with Capgras syndrome continue to perceive them as imposters. As a result, therapeutic interventions often encounter substantial barriers. In our pursuit of knowledge, we are confronted with profound questions that transcend the boundaries of clinical psychiatry. While we grapple with the complexities of Capgras syndrome and other mental afflictions, we are reminded that the mind remains an ever-evolving landscape, with its deepest recesses yet to be explored. We confront not only the limitations of our understanding, but also the power of human resilience in the face of the most bewildering of challenges. In the world we all live in, sometimes reality can blur, and the line between the familiar and the foreign becomes perilously thin. As we continue to explore the boundaries of consciousness and cognition, sometimes we need to be reminded that beneath everyday certainties lie an infinite number of intricately woven mysteries waiting to be understood. In seeking to comprehend Capgras syndrome, we find ourselves not only exploring the depths of the human mind, but also pondering the question of what it means to truly know someone.